New Yorkers, we've all seen the headline. Some of the mayoral candidates are saying, hey, we'll do a rent freeze. But I want you to understand this. As a New Yorker to another New Yorker, or wherever you're watching this, a rent freeze might sound like a relief, but it's actually a trap. And the people who get hurt the most, those are the same ones it claims to protect: the renters, your blue collar workers, your first responders. Because think about it, when you freeze the rent, you don't just stop prices, you stop the progress. Now, before we break into this, please make sure you're subscribed. Over half of you watching this right now aren't subscribed yet, and every week I share the real talk about housing, lending, and how to escape the system that profits when you stay stuck. Right now, New York City has one of the lowest vacancy rates in the country, about 1.4%. That means for every 100 apartment, only 1 or 2 are even available. So when politicians announce a rent freeze, it sounds like a protection, but what is it really doing? What it really does, it chokes the market even tighter. Developers stop building, they stop building new rentals, landlords delay repairs, and investors move their money somewhere else. That results in fewer homes, higher demand, and when demand goes up, guess what goes up? Prices. So it increases the prices of the rentals. And also it hurts the housing market because now housing prices are going to go up also. Housing is simply supply and demand. Plain and simple. When you cap what landlords can charge, fewer people want to be landlords. So the inventory dries up, and guess who suffers? The renters. They're trying to find a decent place to live. Every time a politician promises something free, someone else ends up paying for it, and it's usually you. I work with first responders every day, nurses, teachers, NYPD officers, FDNY, people who should be able to afford a home in the city that they serve. But rent freezes don't create opportunities. They trap people in cycles of renting forever. Because while you're waiting for rent control to help, home prices keep rising and your landlord gains equity. Your savings don't grow and you're left further away from owning every single year. Over the past 30 years, the dollar has lost half of its purchasing power, but assets like real estate, stocks have grown nearly 900%. I'll repeat that. Assets have grown nearly 900%. When adjusted for inflation, that means every year you rent, you're not just paying someone else's mortgage, you're falling behind in wealth by 8% or more. That's why the rich gets richer. They get it because they have assets which they own, and it keeps going up. While everyone else argues about prices of staying still, they're buying assets to increase the equity and create more money for them. Now, I'm going to talk directly to you. Here's where it ties back to mortgages. When you freeze rents, you discourage property owners from improving or selling. That kills the flow of new listings. And guess who it hurts? Buyers. By the time you wait for things to calm down, your buying power is already dropped. Rent freezes sound good. They sound compassionate, but they destroy the incentive. When investors stop building, it's not the luxury condos that vanish. It's the workforce, the housing, the starter homes, the affordable options. We need more supply, not less. We need more homeowners. So, what is the answer? The simple answer is ownership, not control. Because when you own, you create your control. You control your payment, you control your future, and you control your wealth. That's how we flip the system, by helping blue-collar families buy instead of beg. A firefighter I worked with was renting for about 12 years. Stuck under rent stabilization, his rent barely went up, but home prices doubled. When he finally bought, he realized he could have owned a decade earlier and built almost $200,000 in equity by now. That's why I created a program like Keys for Community Heroes. I made it to help to make sure that this never happens to another working class family again. I'm giving you back up to $3,000 to make sure you can create that wealth for you and your family. Go to keysforcommunityheroes.com. Sign up for our live webinar, our in-person training, our in-person seminars. We have a new app which is called our Hero Saving Estimator, where you can see how much money we can save you by signing up and doing the steps to get the Keys for Community Heroes program, which is a lender's credit. I look forward to helping you, and I'll see you over in the next video.